Most urban legends are just stories we tell around a campfire. But Maria Laveau, she was different. She didn't just haunt our dreams. She shut down our schools. She cleared the streets of the Philippines. I'm talking about police patrols, neighborhood watch groups, and thousands of kids locked inside because of one woman with a scar on her face and a sack in her hand. This isn't just a legend, it was a nationwide panic. Hey everyone, welcome back to Noctyra Paradox. Today, we're going back to the early 2000s, a time before everyone had a smartphone, but news traveled faster than light through whispers and rumors. If you grew up in the Philippines, especially in the provinces, that name, Maria Laveau, probably just sent a chill down your spine. I was reading through some threads on Reddit Philippines and Reddit PH horror stories recently, and it's crazy how many people have the exact same memory of their town being paralyzed by fear. We're talking about a story so powerful, it literally changed how people lived their lives for weeks. So let's talk about the woman, the myth, and the day the schools went silent. So, for the few of you who don't know the backstory, it's heavy. It's not your typical ghost story. It's about a housewife who just snapped. Whether it was poverty, madness, or something darker, the legend says she did the unthinkable. She killed her own children. But it's the way she did it that sticks with you. The stories say she cooked them and stored their remains in the refrigerator. When her husband came home and realized the horror in that kitchen, he didn't just call the police. He took a machete and struck her right across the face. That's where the name comes from, Laveau or Labas, referring to that deep, distinctive scar. She escaped that night, and according to the legend, she's been wandering ever since. But here is where the internet side of this gets fascinating. A Redditor named OKStrawberry888 posted about the real-world impact. They remembered being a kid and seeing the atmosphere change overnight. Suddenly, police increased patrols. Stores that usually stayed open late were shuttered by sunset. And the schools? That's the part that hits home. Another user from Zibonga Sibugay confirms that both public and private schools actually suspended classes. Can you imagine that today? A boogeyman story getting so big that the government and the police have to treat it as a real threat? Neighborhood watch groups were formed. If a child went missing or even just fell ill, it wasn't an accident anymore. It was her. What makes Maria Laveau so significant isn't just the blood or the horror, it's the collective fear. Think about it. This was a time when the line between legend and reality was completely blurred. Thousands of people changed their behavior. Parents who usually let their kids play outside until dark were suddenly locking doors at 4 p.m. Some people believe she was a real person, a fugitive moving from province to province, always one step ahead of the law. Others say she represents our deepest fears about motherhood, poverty, and the safety of our children. But when the local news starts covering it and the police are on high alert, does it even matter if she was real? The fear was real. The closed schools were real. I want to ask you guys, especially those of you from the Visayas or Mindanao regions, do you remember the Maria Laveau panic? I've heard stories of people seeing a woman with a bloody sack walking along the highways at night, or the sound of a refrigerator opening in a house where everyone is supposed to be asleep. Was she a monster, or was she just a tragic woman used as a scapegoat for every bad thing that happened in the province? There's something deeply unsettling about a story that can control a whole country without ever showing its face. If you have a Maria Laveau story, maybe your school was one of the ones that shut down, or your parents told you a specific version of the legend, please leave a comment. I want to compile these for a future deep dive. These stories only live if we keep telling them. Thanks for hanging out in the dark with me for episode 5. Hit that like button if this brought back some childhood memories, and don't forget to subscribe to Noctyra Paradox. Stay safe, keep your doors locked, and maybe check the fridge one last time before you go to bed. Good night.